Hi there, my name is Toby, and this I think is the third and final part of my little series on Tantric Mathematics. And this is really the mathematics of life. Tantra really means life, the creation of life. It's the interplay of male and female, but that is actually very abstract. That is yin and yang. It's the fundamental movements of the universe. We have expansion and we have contraction. We have clockwise expansion and counterclockwise contraction. Yin and yang, male and female. And we also have the circle and the line. The circle represents the infinite universe, infinite expansion of space, and the infinitesimal contraction of space, the point. Both are a circle. And you have the line, the vertical line, that is the movement, the dynamic. Something is happening within this circle. The line represents a potential of energy, a divergence from a point. You can think of it as the gravitational potential. 2 points. They stretch apart from one point, but 2 points must pull together to the center. You can also think of it as electrostatic potential. 2 points, plus and a minus, and they pull together back to 1 point. That is the line, the creation of energy, a dynamic within the infinite. So the line also expresses the clockwise expanding spiral and the counterclockwise contracting spiral. But this is all spirit. I'm talking about space itself. Remember, the only way we can talk about this universe is as consciousness. Spirit, it's not physical, abstract. There is nothing in space, but it is here. We all experience space, but there's nothing there. It's nothing, but it's everything. So from this nothing space, we also have atoms, physical manifestation. And the only way we can describe that is by a condensation of space. Now the next fundamental geometry, and this is really again an ultimate geometry that explains the whole universe, is an egg. And ancient civilizations, they believed the universe was an egg. For example, the Egyptians believed that, but many. I've described the universe in terms of a circle and a line. The circle is infinity, so that's it, that's the universe. But within this circle, there's a line, there's a dynamic. But this line will also break out of the circle, because when you go out of the circle, that means you are going outside of space. As you approach infinity, you're going outside the circle. And if you go to a point, you're approaching the infinitesimal, you're going outside space. There's no more space anymore as you go into a point. So that is the unconscious. There's no consciousness. No consciousness means no space. That is unconscious. But from the unconscious, we wake up. There is the conscious mind. So from a point, consciousness emerges and space is created. But remember, a circle represents infinity also because it's going round and around. If you're going around and around in a circle, that is infinity. That also represents time. Time goes round and around and around forever. But a circle is infinite. It has no beginning and no end. Time is just a cycle. It never begins, it never ends. This is also the cycle of life. Never begins, never ends. We can't understand that. There is no beginning of time and no end to time. No beginning of life, no end to life. It just goes round and around a circle. and we are experiencing it at any given moment. But we can go outside time if we go to the middle. If the circle shrinks down to a point, imagine a clock, the hand goes round. At the outside of a clock, you can see the movement of the hand. But if you go towards the middle of the clock, the hand is not moving. So you go to the middle of the clock, there's no movement in the middle. And the only reason we experience time is because of atoms. Atoms are now in space, and time is the movement of atoms in space. But space is the ether, nothing there. If atoms were not moving, there would be no time. But they're always moving. So we experience time as a movement of atoms, and for that we need a body. Now we can look at this universe in terms of heaviness and lightness. So pure space is very light, nothing there. But remember, I'm calling it a fluid consciousness, very light fluid. But you also have material reality. We can call that heavy, very heavy fluid, very thick fluid. So we have heaviness and lightness in the universe. And if we want to express the heaviness and the lightness of the universe, we can express it as an egg. We have a circle and a line. The circle and the line. If we draw the line in proportion to the circle, as the golden ratio, so we take the diameter of the circle as 1 and the line as the golden ratio, phi, 1.618, going on to infinity, then what we have is a longer line than a circle, but it is in the proportion of the golden ratio itself. Now we stretch out the circle to the line. You stretch the circle up and down. Now you have an oval shape. But now we want to keep the golden ratio. Imagine at the bottom of this oval, it is heavier. So we have heaviness. So we stretch it out like the base of an egg. And at the top of this oval, it is lighter. So it shrinks down to the point of an egg. Heaviness at the bottom, lightness at the top, but still in the proportionality of the golden ratio. So the base of the egg, the volume is bigger than the top, but the size of the volume at the base compared to the size of the volume at the top is exactly the golden ratio proportionality. So now we have a perfect egg, and it's derived from the circle and the line in the proportion of the golden ratio. So you take the circle, the sphere, and the line, and you stretch out the sphere into an egg. Now what we have is an expression of the universe, looking at it in terms of heaviness and lightness. And that's the way it is. Physical reality, relative to spiritual reality, is in of itself the golden ratio proportionality. You see, you also have the infinity symbol. Now, the perfect expression of infinity is a circle, because it just goes round and round. But we also have this infinity symbol, a figure of 8 on its side. So that is again an infinite movement. It's going round and around a figure of 8. But if you look at it, you've got clockwise and anti-clockwise. It's changing, goes one way then the other way, and it crosses in the middle at a point. So we have the universe expanding from a point in a clockwise fashion, and then going back down to a point in an anti-clockwise fashion. Expanding and contracting clockwise and anti-clockwise. So that is expressing the infinity of the universe, but it's expressing it in terms of the movement, the infinite movement of expansion and contraction going on. So it's a slightly more complex expression of infinity than the circle. But when you use that, you're expressing the infinite movement of the universe. Same like the yin and the yang. The yin and the yang is a circle divided by an S. So you have these two objects spinning around, and each one is expanding from a point. One is and then going around. Is two water droplets, going around and around, expanded at one end, going to a tip at the other end. And there will be the golden ratio in the yin and the yang. That is a perfect expression of the golden ratio proportionality. And remember, inside each of the droplets, there's a tiny circle. The yin and the yang is inside a circle, infinity, but inside that is expansion and contraction, spinning around forever. But inside each contraction and expansion, there's a little circle, the opposite. Inside the yin, there's the yang. So they are attracting each other. It's a more complex expression of the entire universe. It's a true mathematical symbol, the yin and the yang. It's not a symbol, it's mathematics, Tantric Mathematics. We're just calling it a symbol. Tantric Mathematics means a perfect expression of ultimate truth. That's why it's powerful. The next most powerful symbol in this mathematics is an egg. I'll give you the sequence. Most powerful symbol, the first mathematics is 0. The second one, second most powerful, is 1. The third is the egg. The egg. The egg is a combination of the 0 and the 1. When you combine the 0 and the 1 in the proportionality of the golden ratio in 3 dimensions and stretch it out in terms of heaviness and lightness, you have an egg. But it's perfect. It must be exact. Now this is another layer to this mathematics. I'm talking about the mathematics of 0 and 1, binary code. But this translates to another binary code. This is the real incommensurability mathematics. And that is between 1 and phi. Phi is the golden ratio number, which is expressed by the 0 and the 1 through it. And phi is 1.618, going on and on and on. It's an infinite number. So this is very interesting. An infinite number means it is impossible to manifest it. You cannot write down the golden ratio because the number goes on for infinity. It also means you cannot draw it. You cannot create it in perfection. But it exists. It's a real number. It exists in conception. It's perfect mathematics, but you cannot manifest it. Life is always trying to manifest this golden ratio, but it cannot. But here's the amazing thing. The mathematics of the golden ratio is infinite mathematics, and it allows for infinite variation. So in reality, we have eggs, for example. Living things create an egg, but no egg is perfect. They're all a bit different, but they are all trying to copy the perfect egg, but they can't quite get there. They're all different. But the perfect egg mathematics allows for infinite variations, infinite imperfect eggs. So the mathematics of imperfection is contained within the mathematics of perfection. That is all to do with the golden ratio. So we also have another binary code. It's between 1 and phi. And from that you can build up very special geometries. It's called incommensurable geometry. So now this is, again, this is serious mathematics. But this is the mathematics of creation. Everything follows this. And in practice, we can do this in meditation. You see, the egg is the ultimate expression of life. Life is consciousness together with a body, atoms. Life has taken atoms and organized them. Biological material is atoms being organized, animated. Consciousness and matter together create life. Atoms, like these crystals, you cannot call them life because they are not animated. So an atom is not quite enough by itself. Spirit is consciousness. Consciousness is not an atom, so consciousness by itself is not quite enough. But consciousness combined with atoms, now you've got a combination, an interplay, a movement of yin and yang. Now you can have life. So life is spirit interacting with matter. All different densities, light density, heavy density, working together in organization. You have life. So all the different densities of the ether working together in proportion is an egg. Now you have life. So we can say the universe is a cosmic egg because that is life, and the universe is life. But the universe ultimately is consciousness, that is a sphere. The spirit, the soul, is consciousness, that is a sphere. But the body is a line. That is material construct. That is a structure. But when you have a soul and a body together, you see, remember, the line is also a dynamic of energy, a movement between heaviness and lightness, two spirals interacting. When you have this combination of heaviness and lightness and egg, now you have a combination of spirit and body. Now you have life. And you can break it down like this. The seat of your soul here, the heart chakra. Your soul is a sphere. Imagine a ball of energy here. But you have a center line going through your body, all the way from the crown of the head down to the perineum, through your spine. Sit up nice and tall. You've got a perfectly aligned S-curve of the spine, S-curve. And you can imagine around you then is a big ball with an S-curve. That's the yin and the yang. You sit in this perfect alignment. But go back here, a small ball in the heart, maybe quite big, expanding the chest. Then you have the center line in proportion. That's the golden ratio symbol, a circle and a line, phi. But you align it right in the middle of your heart chakra, and you visualize it in 3 dimensions. Then you expand the circle into an egg above you and below you. Now this egg is surrounding you. But remember, this is fundamental geometry. This is created by consciousness. I am consciousness, therefore I create it. You visualize it. The visualization process is consciousness creating space, geometry. You create it. And try to create a perfect egg. Exact proportionality. You cannot have a perfect egg in reality, but in spirit, yes you can. You give the command for a perfect egg around you and build it strong. That is your aura. Now you are creating a resonant geometry that connects to the ultimate truth of the universe. And you are creating what I also call the cosmic incubator. You're sitting inside an egg, but this egg includes the heavy energy. The heavy energy is your body, but it includes the light energy in your head. The light energy is your spirit. So now at the top of the egg, you've got your head. Here is lightness, light. The bottom of your body in your belly, that is heavy. That is the weight of your body. That is your abdomen. You've got an energy center in your belly. And in the middle is the soul, the heart. So you feel the egg. Lower density, heavier density towards the bottom, lighter density towards the top. Visualize it, create it, and you put it into this perfect mathematics. Remember, life is perfect mathematics trying to manifest itself. In practice, it does not. It gets all disjointed, all out of balance. And ultimately, we lose the organization. Now that is death. But if I do this, I am creating perfect mathematics. That means I am creating life. This is quite simply the creation of life, this meditation. And all it is visualizing geometry and aligning it with your body. Perfect spinal alignment, perfect mental focus on this geometry. And then furthermore, you can feel the etheric energy. That is this fluid consciousness. Imagine at the top of the egg, this pure spirit, bright light, bright light. Bright light shines down through the egg into your heart. In your heart, you feel this bright light, but imagine it golden red, like fire. You feel a heat, a warmth in your heart, but also an emotion. This is etheric energy, soul feeling, consciousness experiencing. So feel love, compassion. Try to just feel it. You create love. It's abstract. It's just an energy. Love in the heart, warmth. Light in the head, love in the heart. Then you go to your belly. In the belly, build more power. Feel inside your belly a heaviness like a thick fluid spinning around and around inside your belly. A ball of energy turning. Plasma. Feel the weight, the gravity of your body pulling down into your belly. But there again, it's like fire. A ball of burning plasma, thick fluid moving around. Feel it, power in your belly. Electricity in your belly. Heavy, powerful energy in the belly, behind and beneath the navel. Ball of energy. Feeling compassion, love, warmth in the heart. Feeling light, clarity, spirit in the head. And this all connected by a perfect egg around you. And you sit in a good posture, S-curve of the spine. Breathe deeply in and out. That is the yin and the yang, expansion and contraction. Then you feel the center line going up and down. Breathe in, you go up to the cosmic energy, the cosmos, infinite space. Breathe out, you go down into the heaviness of your belly. But you can go through to the earth, heaviness of the earth. The dense energy. There's nothing wrong with it. Then you go up to the light energy, down to the heavy energy, up to the light energy. Find a balance within your egg, and you create this egg because this is the aura. This is the definition of your boundary. You create it. Inside this egg is your own personal universe. Ultimately, this is even a craft. We have seen alien UFOs in the shape of an egg, but they will be a very clever egg. Perfect mathematics. But we can do this ourselves. Build an energy bubble as an egg, and we ourselves can use our consciousness and travel off in this egg. It's quite literally an etheric craft. There's a lot to this, but this is the basic fundamental meditation. Tantra. Tantra is internal practice. It's not physical. Yeah, it is physical, but really it's not. This is the deepest, highest level of meditation, connecting to the cosmic principle of yin and yang, heaviness and lightness, metaphysics and physics, soul, spirit, body, energy and body, and harmonizing them, creating life. Male and female create life. It's within me. Male and female is within me. And don't get me wrong, in the physical body we have male and female. It is fixed. But in the etheric body it's not. Doesn't matter. A different level of yin and yang. In the physical body it's fixed. I'm sorry. Male body, female body. You have the sperm and you have the egg. It's fixed. That's it. But energetically it can be different. That's why it's okay. You can feel like a female but be in a male body. That's fine. Don't play around with it. Let it be like that. You are simply a more feminine energy body living in a more masculine physical body. No big deal. You find balance within yourself. It's internal balance, Tantra. But really it's mathematics. And mathematics is perfect meditation. Ultimate. Visualize the egg. Sit inside the cosmic incubator. You regenerate inside this egg. Regenerate your body, regenerate your soul, regenerate your spirit. You are creating it. And the center point of the egg is here. So once more you can have a point in the seat of your soul. Around that you can have a ball. Around that you can have an egg. And the egg connects up to the cosmos and down to the earth. So I hope this made sense. Please do check out the whole series and leave me any questions or comments. And just check out my channel. All my videos are different. Skip through my playlists and just pick any one. And I thank you so much again for your time, and I look forward to seeing you in any of these other videos here.